Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today I'm excited to bring you my first hands-on look of the all-new 2025 Buick Enclave here in its most fully loaded Avenir trim level. Now, if you guys have been following along here on the channel, you'll know I have posted videos of the sister vehicle or the platform mates, the Chevy Traverse as well as the GMC Acadia, and pretty much every trim level those vehicles have to offer. So I am excited to take a look at what the Buick Enclave has to offer and just see, how the styling differences, some of the material differences do differ versus those of those sister vehicles that I just mentioned. Now, if you guys are curious about all of the differences between all three of those vehicles, I actually do already have a video here on the channel between a Chevy Traverse RS, a GMC Acadia Denali, as well as the Buick Enclave Avenir, and telling you exactly what is going to be different in terms of all of the features, options, and some of those aspects. So I highly recommend you guys check that video out if you guys are curious about that. Now, anyways, the Buick Enclave has started to arrive at dealership lots over the last few weeks, and overall, I've been excited to see this vehicle for a number of reasons. It does offer a few exclusive features that you cannot get on those other two vehicles, the Traverse as well as the Acadia. Obviously has some different design language that really does differ between those other two vehicles. And overall, I think it just offers a unique overall package for really not much more money than that of an equivalent Acadia Denali Ultimate in the mid $60,000 price range. So if you are looking for a couple of those exclusive features, you do have to opt for this Avenir Enclave. And like I said, there's really not a huge price differential to do so. So without further ado, let's not waste your time. Take a look at what this Buick Enclave Avenir has to offer for just over $65,000. So take a look at the Enclave in front of me. It is finished in the white frost tri-coat exterior with the sky cool gray and blue accented leather interior. This color combination is actually quite stunning to see in person. And as long as you're okay with a lighter color interior as far as the carpets and the seating surfaces, this is probably a color combination I would highly recommend to check out in person. Now, anyways, taking a look at the front end of the Enclave, this is going to have very similar design language and styling as some of the other recently refreshed and or all new Buick SUVs in the lineup, including that Envision back there. So it might actually be a little bit tricky to determine which Buick SUV this actually is at a quick glance. Anyways, every Buick Enclave will come with full LED forward lighting for your LED daytime running lights and turn signals, LED projector headlights, and I believe the bottom section of this headlamp assembly is actually where that front cornering light is located, so it does have a little bit of additional feature set in terms of what it has to offer. Now, the front end is finished in a tasteful amount of chrome, but being a Buick and an Avenir trim in general, it will have a little bit more chrome than that of some of the other SUVs. So you have this large section right here finished in that chrome boomerang, tasteful amount of chrome across the grille along with gloss black. And then at the very bottom of the front bumper, you can see more chrome in the middle along with the gloss black on the accents. It actually looks quite good, and even though I'm not a fan of chrome, I think the mix of gloss black and chrome throughout the exterior actually works quite well. You do have front, rear, and side parking sensors. There's the radar for the Super Cruise functionality, which it provides, of course, level 2 hands-free driving assistance on those applicable roadways. You do have the front camera for the 360 surround view monitor system, and then the 3Crest logo here on the hood, finished in the red, white, and blue. Certainly looks very nice, very premium, and I like that updated logo that they debuted a couple years ago. Now, coming around the side of the Enclave Avenir, you can see it does have body color accents for the cladding around the wheel arches and the lower door section. I personally prefer body color accents on SUVs like this, so I think this one, as equipped, certainly looks very nice and very luxurious. Coming to the wheel and tire setup, this is going to be kind of a satin pearl color in terms of its gray. It is going to be the standard 22-inch, as I mentioned earlier on in this video. It is going to be wrapped in a 275/45 22-inch Continental Cross Contact LX20 all-season tire, so a very familiar tire that we have seen on some other GM SUVs. Coming up top, you do have the body color mirror caps, LED turn signal integration, camera on the bottom for some of that 360 camera view system. And then I believe there might be some puddle lights on either the lower of the door when it is opened and or the door handles themselves. You do have the Avenir badging for the chrome on the lower front doors, along with some of that chrome strip that matches some of the other accents throughout the exterior. The mirrors are going to be heated and do have blind spot detection, and the mirrors on the driver's side as well as the interior are going to be auto dimming as standard, which is nice to see, but unfortunately all three mirrors, including that passenger side, are not going to be dimming. Now backing up here on the side of the vehicle, all 4 door handles are going to feature proximity entry, and then you can see just the amount of chrome used on the side profile of this vehicle. All along the window trim, of course the lower belt line there, the door handles, and then around the wheels themselves. Up top you will find the kind of satin silver finished roof crossbars, so if you want to add additional roof accessories you can do that, as well as that panoramic sunroof. And then coming around to the rear of the vehicle, as a whole, I think the rear end of this vehicle is certainly one of the highlights and where I like the exterior appearance. You do have the clear accented LED tail lamp, so it's going to be full LED with your turn signals and brake lights up top, and then the reverse lights are going to be located here at the rear of the bumper. You do have that body color paint matched accent with the chrome dual tip exhaust. Of course, there's all the parking sensors that I mentioned. All-wheel drive badging is going to be located here on the left side if it is equipped with all-wheel drive, and then there is the backup camera with the integrated washer nozzle, the 3Crest logo, as well as your digital camera mirror for the interior mirror itself, again with a washer nozzle to help clean it off if it ever gets dusty and or dirty. So that's going to be a look at the exterior of the Enclave Avenir. As this one sits, I think it looks fantastic on the outside, but you guys will have to let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the Enclave in general. Do you think it's the most handsome or stylish of the 3 GM recently released 3-row SUVs, or do you like the Traverse RS and or the Acadia a little bit better? But let's go ahead and take a quick look at the window sticker so you guys know exactly how this one's equipped before we dive onto the interior. So take a look at the window sticker. The Enclave Avenir pretty much comes fully equipped with all the features and options that are available on this vehicle outside of Super Cruise, as well as that trailering package as I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So you get things like heated and ventilated front seats, the massaging front seats, dual power seats, the wireless charging, wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, 22-inch alloy wheels, all the advanced driver assistance technologies, even if you don't get Super Cruise, which adds the hands-free driving assistant on applicable roadways. But this one does have the Super Cruise package, as well as all-wheel drive, as well as White Frost Tri-Coat, which brings the total MSRP, including destination, to $65,725. Now taking a look on the interior, as I mentioned, this one has the sky cool gray and blue accented interior, which is definitely very stunning and matches the white exterior quite well. Now starting out here on the door panel, you will find some nice premium materials which you may not find as much of on the Traverse RS as well as the GMC Acadia. So up top, this is going to be finished in that nice navy blue leather with the accent stitching. Just below that, you have some nice satin silver trim with what looks like LED accent lighting in the middle of it that runs right into the chrome door handle pull itself. Then just below that, you have some nice wood accented trim finished in a very dark brown, but it's not too brown. So it's kind of a grayish brown color, and then perforated leather armrests in that lighter material with that accent stitching. And then just a hint of kind of a rose gold or coppery color in the armrest section itself. You do have power windows, mirrors, and locks with standard power folding mirrors as well. Now, one thing to note about the window switches themselves is only the driver window is fully automatic up-down. The rest of the windows are only going to be automatic down, not automatic up, which is a little bit disappointing to see, quite frankly, on a vehicle of this price point. You do have 2-person memory driver seat, lock, unlock, the Bose 16-speaker Performance Series audio system with this very nice metal accented grille. And then down below, you do have your power tailgate release button right here, in addition to that nice chrome accents around the actual speaker grille itself. Good amount of lower door storage. You do have the Avenir nice door sill plate there. And then coming to the seats, this is going to be the fully power front driver and passenger seat with the adjustable bolsters, 4-way power lumbar, as well as the massage function, which is indicated by that little round button right there. Most of the seat is going to be in that lighter gray material with the dark blue accent piping on the outside. And of course, coming up to the actual headrests themselves, it is going to be embossed with the Avenir logo, which matches the seat color. And then taking a look at the dashboard, that's where you see a lot of the navy blue accent leather. Now stepping onto the interior of the Buick Enclave Avenir, you're going to find some familiar design language and technology from that of other recently updated Buick SUVs, but also a couple things that are borrowed from the Chevy Traverse as well as the GMC Acadia as well. Now the first thing that you see is the fully digital and panoramic display that spans from the entire left side of the steering wheel all the way across into the center dashboard. And I believe this is right around 30 inches when measured diagonally across the entire display. And it is actually one full LCD or digital panel with no separation behind this one piece of glass, which is, really makes the interior stand out in terms of its luxury and overall design. Now, in terms of the controls for the cluster, this is going to be controlled here on the right side of the steering wheel like many GM SUVs. This does obviously have Buick's own UI or skin over the digital software of it in and of itself. But cycling through some of the pages, you can see you can put the Google Maps integration full screen here in front of the driver, which you can do in those other GM SUVs as well. But this display is just a little bit bigger than those, and I think overall looks just a little bit nicer. Now, cycling through one more time, you have your driver assistance page for your adaptive cruise control, super cruise technology, lane keeping assist, etc. Then one more time, it will bring you back to the regular home screen with your time and date on the left side, speedometer in the middle, and then audio over there on the right. You can configure this in the center infotainment screen just a little bit if you do wish, and I will have a video upcoming here on the channel showing you exactly how to do that in some of these newer Buick SUVs. Now, to the left of the screen here, you do have your heads-up display, power on-off button, as well as your adjustability via this section right here. So this is always on the display over here to the left of the steering wheel. So it's simply one touch away from being on and off, as well as your adjustments can be done via these controls in terms of height, rotation, and brightness just below that. So I like how it's always taking up this left portion right here. It never goes away and is very easy to access. Now, coming back to the steering wheel, this is going to be the navy blue leather wrap steering wheel that matches the dashboard with the integrated Super Cruise technology in the indicator bar here at the top, as well as the eye tracking device in the middle if you do option this package. Now, as a whole, this design is certainly love it or hate it. It's kind of a 3- and 4-spoke design depending on how you look at it. Has a good amount of chrome accent trim, and I really do like this navy blue. I think it is a fantastic shade and certainly goes well with Buick's kind of brand heritage. In the middle, you do have your red, white, and blue crest logo. On the left side, you have your adaptive cruise control super cruise functionality, your plus or minus for a speed adjustment, as well as the lane keeping assist and voice control button. On the right side, you have your heated steering wheel button, those controls for the digital gauge cluster, your volume, phone, and selection dials like that. And then on the back side, you do have rockers to control your favorites for the audio multimedia as well as volume, and then paddle shifters for that 8-speed automatic transmission. To the left of the steering wheel, you will find rain sense wipers, which is very nice to see. And on the right side, you do have your new gear shift stalk, which is relocated from the center console up here onto the actual column itself, which frees up space here in the center console, which GM has started to do across pretty much every of their new or heavily refreshed SUVs, such as the Chevy Traverse, Acadia, the Envision, Blazer EV, Cadillac Lyriq, etc. all have this new column-mounted gear shift. To the left of the steering wheel, you have your electronic parking brake, drive mode select. You do have 4 drive modes in this vehicle, including Tour, Sport, Off-Road, as well as Snow and Ice. And it gives you a nice little preview with an information dial up there on the left side. They do have all-wheel drive all the time button, automatic vehicle hold, engine stop start on off, as well as your gauge dimming, as well as the interior overhead lights at nighttime. Above that, you do have a little AC vent with gloss black accents, some nice silver chrome metal trim, which matches the speaker grill quite well. And then across the dashboard, you can see it is the entirely blue accent that matches the steering wheel along with the upper door panels. Even the center channel grille there is finished in the navy blue. And then eventually on the passenger side of the vehicle wraps into the door with the lighter lower section with some LED ambient lighting. Now, continuing on over here with the infotainment system, like I said, this is part of the same exact display, has a very similar UI and overall software skin to that of other recently new GM SUVs, or Buick SUVs I should say. So you have all of your hard touch or main shortcuts on the left side. You have your notifications for the Google integration right there, or other smartphone text, call notifications, etc. 4G LTE, as well as your data little dial right there. Vehicle status, Google Assistant, Play Store. It does have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, Amazon Alexa, the Google integration, ambient interior lighting, which allows you to choose the brightness as well as customize the actual color you do want to use. Automatic parking assist, so this is the hands-free parking assistant both in and out of a spot. Climate controls for the tri-zone automatic climate, so 2 zones in the front, 1 zone in the rear. Of course, Wi-Fi hotspot, audio, maps, phone controls, which is always down here in the bottom next to your headlight, and other shortcut buttons. My Buick with the app integration, podcast, as well as Google News. So there is a lot to go through on this infotainment system. Like I said, make sure to check out that future video I will have posted on the channel, going through the majority of these actual features. Now below the screen itself, you do have some physical hard touch controls for the dual zone automatic climate, so I really do appreciate that. So you have a quick on-off auto then your temperature, fan, and then your defroster settings here on the right side, 2 AC vents in the middle, as well as your engine stop start button over here to the left, and then a little bit of gloss black accents, which actually hides your USB-C and USB-A data ports quite well for the infotainment system. And then coming here to the center console, you can see there's actually a gap between the dashboard and the floating console itself, so there's nothing connecting the upper section to that of the front. And then this is where you'll also find your volume dial as well as power for the actual head unit itself. So pressing the middle button will obviously mute the system or turn it off depending on if you hold it. And then this is going to be the actual dial that you turn for the audio volume level. Nice large wireless charging pad here in the center console, and overall easy to access. Gloss black found around the cup holders and the entire control panel here. You guys know how I feel about gloss black. Don't love it. It does kind of get dusty and scuff up pretty easily, but that is the entire center area right here. And then the proximity entry with remote start, power liftgate is going to be the normal, proximity key fob that you will find from newer GM products. Coming to the center console, this is going to be the same material as the seats, so nice, softly padded. Inside, you will find a little storage shelf that is removable, and then a good amount of overall storage space with a little LED light to help you see exactly what is in there at night. And then below the center console, you can see there is additional storage space down here that is quite large and pretty easy to get to as a whole. So if you have a large bag, purse, or items you don't necessarily need to access all the time, I would highly recommend taking use of that space down there. Coming up top, you'll find the same tweeter grille as that of the door panel. Nice lighter gray accent headliner and interior. You do have microphones for some of the noise cancellation technologies here on the interior. LED vanity illumination. You do have the digital rear camera mirror. It does not have garage home link, as that is located in the actual infotainment system itself. So it does have the universal home remote, as they call it, found here under the quick controls. And then you go into more controls, and it is right there in where you can actually program your garage home link. Now it does have the adjustments for the brightness up and down and all of the usual stuff as far as that goes. OnStar SOS, hazard button, passenger airbag sensor indicator, panoramic power sunroof and shade controls, LED overhead lighting, nice chrome accents. And then you will find the integrated sunglasses holder, which has been going away from many new recent products, and GM is finally kind of bringing that back or keeping it in their vehicles, which is always nice to see. Now, speaking of the panoramic sunroof, there's a look at the size. It is quite big, the exact same size as that of the other Traverse as well as the Acadia vehicles you have seen inside of my videos. But as a whole, this front seat and overall interior material usage is quite stunning to see in person, and as a whole, I think there's a lot to like about it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the back seat and see what you get back there. Now take a look at the back seat. Every Enclave Avenir will come standard with the 7-passenger configuration, so 8 or the bench seating in the middle is not available. But take a look at the door panel. All of the materials as the front seat do follow through to the back, which is always great to see. So you have the same perforations, the rose coppery color with the window switchgear and all the metal speaker grills. A good amount of lower door storage as well. And then coming to the seats themselves, you do have the recline as well as the slide adjustments here and here beneath the seat. And then it does come standard with the power release, which is easy access to the third row, which is either optional on some of the Traverse vehicles and of course found on some of the Acadias. But the seat materials are going to be identical to the front, and you even do get the same Avenir embossment in the headrest, which is just a small detail that I appreciate from GM doing that in their top of the line model. Now stepping inside, the step-in height is very easy given the door opening and ride height. There's a quick look at the center dashboard. And then coming out back, you do have 2 large cup holders up top, heated rear seats, automatic climate control for the second and third row, USB-C charging, as well as a 120-volt wall outlet. Just below that with a nice size cubby down there. Matte pockets on both of the 2 front seats, overhead LED lighting, as well as your AC vents. And then there's a look at the sunroof in comparison as to where it comes to the second row seats. Do have armrests, which are nicely padded and do fold up if you wish. And as you can see, this is kind of a lighter color carpet, so do beware or be warned if you're looking at this interior, as it's very light throughout the entire cabin space. So things may get dirty over time depending on how you use them and take care of it, but quite stunning in terms of its color combination. And then just to demonstrate a little bit of how to use the seat, Simply press that button, it just allows it to power retract and automatically recline forward. And as you can see, the seat stays upright, so you can have a car seat attached to the actual seat. It may not go as far forward if you have a car seat, obviously, but you can do that and keep a car seat attached to all of the anchor points. And there's a look at the third row seating, which is quite spacious for a vehicle in this segment. So stepping inside, very easy given how far the seat does go forward. We'll go ahead and pull the seat back. And as you can see, in its most far or retracted position, it is kind of tight back here, given my knees are actually in the seat back itself. But here's an easy access power release button to do that function from the third row. USB-C charging on both sides. It is hard touch armrest back here, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you do have cup holders or storage area, decent sized glass, AC vents located right above your head, LED lighting, and then pretty much all of these same amenities as you'll find in those other GM SUVs, as I keep mentioning. But overall, I think the interior space, both in the second and third row of this vehicle, is quite, impressive for the mid $60,000 price point. What you would expect for the most part is going to be found in this vehicle. Although it would be nice to see, like heated and ventilated cabin chairs in the second row, given this is, one of the more premium options from GM. And kind of help differentiate it from the Traverse as well as the Acadia. Now coming to the cargo area, of course you do get the standard power liftgate, which is always very useful. It is a hands-free functionality if you choose to use it. And behind the third row, as you can see, there's gonna be a good amount of overall storage and cargo capacity. Here are your carpeted floor mats back here. And then on the right side, you will find the power up-down third row seats and the power folding second row seats, as well as a 12-volt outlet, which is very similar to that of the Acadia Denali Ultimate. And beneath the floor, you will find additional storage space. And then your temporary spare tire is going to be found beneath this plastic storage tub. So you do need to pull those 4 nuts out, lift the storage out just to get access to the spare tire, but it does have one inside of this vehicle. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate quickly how to fold the second row seats down. Simply hold the buttons and we'll go ahead and retract both seats. Now, unfortunately, those seats are in the way. And as you can see, the seats themselves actually need to be slid forward just a little bit because the headrests actually do contact the seats themselves. So if you move them forward, it will allow both of the 2 front seats to go down. I believe that's actually an issue that GM has been dealing with on some of the other SUVs. But for example, that is what it will look like on both sides as long as you have the second row seats slid in an appropriate position. So lots of overall storage and cargo capacity in this vehicle. Now wrapping up here on the passenger front seat, all of the same adjustments, including the massage functionality, will be found over here as well. So there's all of those adjustments. Better look at the seat itself. And then coming to the dashboard, there you can really see the blue accents with the lighter leather and perforations across the dash. Of course, the LED illumination. Glove box is damped. Does not have any LED illumination inside, but is a very large size for additional storage in the cabin. And it looks like you do have a 12-volt outlet integrated in that lower section as well here for front seat occupants. So that's a look at the interior of the Enclave Avenir. Let's go ahead and pop the hood so it powers this particular vehicle before wrapping up this video. So under the hood of every Buick Enclave, you're gonna find the same 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now this can be had in front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive configurations and puts out 326 horsepower and 328 pound-feet of torque, like I said, either through the front wheels or all 4 wheels if you do select all-wheel drive. Now I know there's been some people out there that say they are a little bit disappointed that the V6 is gone inside of these vehicles and they will look at other options ultimately, but this vehicle still has, more power than that outgoing V6. It can tow the exact same amount at about 5,000 pounds of towing capacity when properly equipped. And as a whole, I think this powertrain suits this size of vehicle and the overall power output quite well. So as a whole, I think the 4-cylinder is certainly not for everybody, but I don't think it is a bad engine choice inside of GM's latest SUVs. So that's going to do it here for this quick walk around tour of the all-new 2025 Buick Enclave Avenir. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and or found something helpful as always. If you did, make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe if you haven't already, make sure to stay tuned for additional content on the 2025 Enclave in the future. And like I said, check out those comparison videos I have if you're curious about what the Traverse RS as well as the GMC Acadia Denali has versus this vehicle. Now, as a whole, I think first impressions on this vehicle is I see where the price differential is coming from, especially a Chevy Traverse RS to an Enclave Avenir. Now, what's interesting is there's only about a $1,200 to $1,500 price difference between a fully loaded Acadia and the Enclave Avenir. And I think for that price differential, as long as you're okay with the color combinations, the color availability, and stuff like that, I think there is a good value proposition to going to the Enclave Avenir over that of an Acadia Denali for the adaptive suspension, the massaging front seats, and certainly some of the design and materials here on the interior. Now, both vehicles are very, very nice, don't get me wrong, but I certainly see quite a bit of appeal in terms of the luxury comfort side of things here in this one versus that of the Acadia. But overall, you guys will have to be the judge of that and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. There is a good amount of, soft touch throughout the interior, but I do see a couple physical buttons that GM has been using in some of their, lesser expensive vehicles that are also going to be found in this one, such as the power sunroof controls, the window switch gear, some of the lock, unlock memory seats and stuff like that are going to be carryover from things like a Chevy Equinox, for example, all the way up to an Enclave, but there are a lot of dedicated buttons and controls that are specific to this vehicle as well. So kind of a mixed bag in terms of the materials, but I think the color combination, where you're going to be touching on a daily basis and using overall is very nice. I do wish the volume button for the infotainment system was a little bit closer to the driver. That's actually quite a far reach for my driving position. But as a whole, not a huge deal, but something to pay attention to if you guys are going to go test drive and look at one of these vehicles in person. But anyways, you guys all have to let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. As always, make sure you guys use the Amazon affiliate link if you guys are shopping on Amazon for a free way to support the channel just a little bit further. And always you can subscribe and become a channel member if you guys do want to support it and gain early access to some of these videos as well. But as always, I appreciate continued support and hope to see you guys in the next one.